Vampires? In a battle royale? Super cool YouTube intro with graphics. Say graphics that I couldn't be bothered to make. Game is good. All the looting and shooting you love about a BR, but this time with vampires. Different classes, each with a couple unique abilities, and oh god, this class is ugly. Oh, I got 5 tips for you guys. Help you get that juicy dub. Number 1, has guns to use. The SMG be bussin'. Tommy gun's good, snipers are good, shotgun's good. Pretty much every gun is good. You want to have a nice combo. You can carry 2 ranged weapons and a melee weapon. You want those ranged weapons to basically complement each other. A good combo is basically like having something that can do very well at mid-range, and then your secondary doing really well at close range. You could run 2 of the same gun, like an AK isn't actually that bad in close range combat. It's just not the best. You know what I mean? So using an AK mid-range or the toggler or the semi-auto sniper, any of those weapons, anything that can do pretty well mid-range, that's typically the type of weapon you want to have at all times, just so you can sort of control the pace of mid-range, and you know, it keeps people off you, and it also helps you engage, helps you push fights. If you do like a good amount of damage towards someone that's like across from the roof of you, then you know, you can push that and you can clean up that kill. Once you're up close, you want something reliable, something that can do like a good amount of damage. So shotgun, very, very nice. There's 2 different shotguns. You got the pump and you got the double barrel. Double barrel, it's just not that reliable. If you happen to get that 2-tap, the pow pow, and it just drops someone that is like at full HP. Oh, but it's not the most reliable weapon, so I would suggest trying to use the SMG or the pump shotgun. All right, let's move on. Number 2, Diablerizing. It's important because it lets you go up to humans when they have like sanguine, which gives you like HP regen, or if you need cooldown on some of your abilities. Whenever you use that scan, you're able to see which humans have what power up on them, right? The HP regen, I would highly recommend trying to get that first, because the game has this sort of like cap on how many power-ups you can get. I think it's like 3. You can only get like 3 power-ups. And then once you get a Diablerize, you actually are able to get more power-ups. I don't know how much more it goes up. I should probably pay attention to that, considering I'm doing a video on giving you guys tips. But I want to say it gives you like 1 extra slot. So what I will highly recommend is trying to get HP regen, at least 1 point in there. Like if you see that pink outline on one of the humans when you scan, like if it's slightly out of the way, you should probably still go for it, because that regen it's so nice. It's so nice. If you're ever being chased and you're kind of hurting, it lets you kind of like run away, not take any more damage while you still passively heal. You pop a syringe, and you know, a syringe doesn't take too long to pop. You can even prioritize armor a little more, or go for like a reload. But Diablerizing, very, very important mechanic, because it gives you access to more power-ups, but also gives you a full heal. You fully heal when you Diablerize. You know what that means? In games like Apex, when you are like 1 shot away from death, but you manage to get a kill and someone comes in for like a third party, all you gotta do is open up one of the death boxes, put on the armor, and your HP may not be looking so hot, but you got like full armor, right? In this game, I guess their version of that is once you get it down, you're able to Diablerize, but it's not as quick as like opening up a death box in Apex. It takes a couple seconds. So you're technically vulnerable during it. You don't get the HP regen until you go through with the whole thing. So it's a good idea to go for it when it's safe. But you're gonna find scenarios where it's like you're hurting and you have like some cover, but you know that there's someone around the corner that is probably already knows where you're at and may have shot at you from like, you know, across from a rooftop or something like that. And they're probably gonna push. But you know, it's a few seconds. If you feel like you got that time, then go for the Diablo Rise, because you might be screwed otherwise, right? Get that full HP and manage your resources however you can. Number 3 is where to spawn and kind of like routes that you can take. There's no real definitive route that just leads you to victory, obviously. But I would highly suggest picking a spot that has decent loot, but you know, you don't have to really toss your life away to obtain that loot every single game. But you know, decent loot with like the potential to maybe get some really high tier loot, right? The map will show you, it shows like high tier loot here, and you might even notice like a building not too far away from that high tier loot, there's another one that's high tier loot. So sometimes those areas are very crowded and very dangerous because there's just a lot of players trying to get that loot and just be better off like at the start of the game. So it's not a terrible idea to spawn where there's high tier loot, but it's not the smartest play to just go straight at it every single time, unless you're, you know, that's just how you like to play video game, is to just like send it. I respect it, brah, like I respect it for sure. But also, no, don't do that. You want to pick a spot that you can get familiar with. Pick the same spot. Just keep going to the same area over and over and over. If someone manages to snipe your spot, you know, don't pick something on the edges of the map that you're like, oh, no one's gonna take this from me. No, just pick a spot that has like some possible loot around it, and then give it a shot. Look around, get familiar with the area, and if like it's just garbage loot, then yeah, pick another spot and kind of test that one out. But once you get like a decent spot, just run it back and back and back and back. You'll understand the map layout. You will be more equipped to take on a fight sooner rather than later. You don't really want to be walking around with your starter pistol and in a fire axe. Like it's not very reliable. Tip number 4 is understanding the AI. So enemy AI, they can reveal the location of other players as well as your location. So it's, if you're going to challenge them and you want that gold box, you kind of want to do it quick, and you also want to make sure that you know you're able to get out of a sticky situation in case someone else tries to push up on you. Now, aside from the enemy AI, there are also civilians. Civilians have a few uses. I want you to picture this. Kind of just walking down an alleyway, see Joe, you know Joe, the local crackhead, and say what up to him. And before he even gets a chance to say what up back, you notice that he's looking up into the sky, and you just see like, you see terror written all across his face. And then when you look back, you notice that a vampire is leaping from the balcony of a building and starting to pour bullets into your body. You panic, you start running down that alley, and you turn a couple corners where you find a poor defenseless human being just spray painting some derogatory things on the wall. Now at this point, you realize, wait a second, I'm a vampire too. And one way for me to really heal is if I suck this dude. If I suck him right now, I will get my HP back. So you begin sucking him, and then all of a sudden you hear someone screaming right next to you, and you look over, and it's like some woman who just happened to be standing there awkwardly. You didn't necessarily see her when you came around that corner. You only saw an opportunity to heal, and you weren't paying attention because you were in a bit of a panic because you were pretty much close to death. This woman screaming is now revealing you to the entire server. Every single player in that game can now see you as this red dot on their map, and even worse, kind of like, unlike a UAV in games like Call of Duty that sort of like blinks periodically, right? Where like you kind of have to wait for the next blink to really know where someone is in that moment. This shit is just, you're just a red outline that people can see through walls. Very bad. And you wouldn't believe how long this shit lasts. 60 seconds. So you have an entire minute of you being this enormous red blob for everyone and their mother to see. And now you're in danger. You are in a severe amount of danger. So what are some things you can do to avoid this? Well, first things first, check your surroundings. Like as brief as you can, sure, just kind of whip left, whip right, but like, hey, is it cool if I suck you real quick? No one's watching, right? But also, if you need to suck, but there is someone there, someone else that could spot you, you will see like a white sort of aura from their head, like emanating out of their head. This aura is a way to like tell you that this person is fully aware of your presence. So if you do any type of suspicious like shit, you're gonna get revealed. So if that aura is not there, even though this lady's literally like a few feet away looking dead at you as you're like up against this dude, like right up against him before you start sucking, but you don't see that white outline, you could do it. But what I would highly recommend is actually just going up to the person and pointing your gun at them. That usually freaks them out, doesn't reveal you, and they start running in the opposite direction. You definitely want to go out of your way to make sure that you do not get revealed. Revealed, bad. Tip number 5, die. Yeah, I know a lot of these videos will probably try and be like, your last and final tip, have fun. Yeah, I mean, I agree, you should have fun. But first, like, die, like go play the game and don't just sit in a corner. Don't just be camping, just waiting for a circle to move to the next circle. Like, don't play like that. Trust me. If you want to get better at this game, and I mean, if you want to get better at BRs in general, a good rule of thumb is play aggressively. Go out there, take on some really challenging fights that you probably shouldn't win ever, for the opportunity to probably win it, once in a while. Who knows? 2v1, 3v1, those insane clutches, they happen. But they're very unlikely to happen if you almost always play very rat-like. If you're just always hiding and you're totally fine with getting top 2 or something like that. There's nothing wrong with getting top 3 or anything, but if you're getting to top 3 by just camping around and hiding and like settling for second place with 0 kills, like that's all you. If you want to play like that, fine. Not really. Don't play like that. You should learn the game. Play aggressively. Get out of your comfort zone. Mess around with other weapons you might not typically pick up. Who cares? But like, the main thing is to take fights. If you're kind of like sitting up on a roof and you see 2 people shooting at each other relentlessly, just like no one's dying anywhere or whatever, and you're thinking to yourself, I'm about to take some pop shots. Don't do it. Maybe later down the road, once you get like more comfortable with the game and you're winning a lot more consistently, do whatever you want. Like get a first place finish with a melee only. It was 1 kill sort of thing, like fist. That'd be cool. That's a YouTube video right there. Clickbait. Just pull out the SMG that you've probably used once or twice ever, or like the pump action or the double barrel. Get in there. Even if like you somehow manage to get them both to focus on you, and they're like, we'll put this on hold for a second. This guy, rude. And then they both start firing on you. Let it happen. Just try your best to whip both them out of, like, take them both out of the game. And the feeling you get from that, it's so gratifying, it's so satisfying. And that's usually, and this is pure honesty, that's how I get better at these games. By playing aggressively, by challenging myself, by doing things that you might not feel comfortable with. You can play smart, but for the most part, kind of not too smart, like just kind of unga bunga. It makes for such a better experience. You'll get better quicker. Trust me. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. Helps out a lot. And it lets me know if you guys enjoyed this kind of video so that I can make more. Be sure to subscribe. You'll get notifications when I upload more videos, and you'd also drop on by the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/AjilityPoints. The link will be in the description below. You can head on over there now if you wanted. You can follow, get notifications when I go live. You know, that's cool too. And there's also links to my Discord over there at the Twitch channel, but I'll provide links in the YouTube video as well. But yeah, I think that's it. Good luck. Have fun. And unga bunga a little, I think would be like the way I'd like to end this video. Unga bunga. I kind of want to make it a thing. I don't want to make it weird between us. Okay, bye.